This is Paul from the Tank Model channel here with an update on my transit van, the Mark II version. The kit number is Italia 3657. I've got quite a bit where I have. I guess you've got the underneath done. It's actually matte black. I've got to do some tidy up there because I actually glue some bits in place, so they've got to be plugged. I think you can just about see some blemishes in there. That's no problem. That's the glue come through. The bits of plastic come through from the actual chairs. That will be matte black over anyway, so that you won't notice that afterwards. I've done used the Vallejo, aluminium for the actual tanks and the exhaust pipe, and also Vallejo steel for the actual sump and everything for the bottom of the engine. This is a curbside kit, so there's no engine inside, so there you go. And I've done the wheels. These wheels need a bit of a clean up afterwards, but I've done the blue exhaust, blue shock absorbers, and they've all been done. The steering does work, but obviously I shall just keep it in a straight line, but you can actually set it up in a curve. The sad bit is it doesn't line up the exhaust. Now there was a hell of a lot of sink marks underneath this chassis, and I filled them all in. A lot of people I've noticed don't bother, but I decided to go around. I used my liquid Tamiya plastic, the very thin stuff, just to drop it in, let it dry, and scrub it off. So that's not too bad now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch off now and show you the actual top now. So here we go. I've got to find the old mouse. There we go. So I'm going to switch off briefly now and come back in a couple of seconds. See you in a minute. Hi, I'm back, and basically what have we done? We've done the chairs. And I've actually laid the carpet. I think you can see the carpet in there now. I actually redid the gear stick, and I made it into more of a scale one that you see in photographs of the van in question. They did go to a fixed stock here one, but I still think it was overscale, and I actually used the gear stick knob and the actual boot at the bottom, which goes into the gearbox and below. And actually but I sanded the knob very smaller, so that basically it looked more to scale in the vehicle. I've done that, and I've done this. It's my first time of using the flocking, and this is the flocking I was using. This is the wrong colour because I can't be bothered to get the other one out. I think it's too far at the back, but this is the flocking I was using. It's this stuff. It's that much. It looks like a small tin, but believe it or not, there's quite a lot in them tins. I've got 3 or 4 different colours now, which is handy for later on. This is a dark brown for another build I'm doing later on at some point. But anyway, so that's the flocking I'm using, so you can freeze frame on that and get it. I got it from a shop, and I'll mention it later on, but basically the flocking's really good. The only thing is I used white glue. Big mistake. Should have done what Showtime Studios does, Selby Hunter Selby I should say, and what I should have done is actually used the paint colour and as well. Switcher mentioned it as well after it, because he's actually seen the flocking bit done on one of our chats on Monday evenings, which we've got one tonight. Anyway, so I've done that, done that quite long. I used two interior colours basically. The actual buff from Tamiya, and then I also used the Zero Paints buff as well, and I will put a link to it. And I've actually done all the way up inside. A lot of this won't be seen, so when I come around to the front, all this black area here, there's that hidden under the bonnet. You won't see it anyway. I've painted it black by hand. Could have sprayed it, made it look nice, but at the end of the day it's going to be tucked away and you won't see it. So the body colour has sleeves racing green. This is from Zero Paints as well, isn't it? And it's a lacquer paint, so it's a bit smelly, but it does, because I've got a spray booth, it does actually dissipate it anyway. And basically got the spare wheel there. You're not going to see much. Oh, you won't. You can just about see the spare wheel. If I just lift it up, there you go. See the spare wheel and the exhaust. The exhaust has been emptied out as well. So if I put that back down again into about there. The wheels are on. They're clicked on. I can take them off anytime I like, but I'm going to leave them on there. I'm going to run a bit of clean around the wheels to make them look a bit clean later on. So there she is. The seats look shiny because they're meant to. There's like a leatherette stuff, along with the actual dashboard has all been done as well. I've test fitted the body on top and it worked out well. And if I come to this angle, I think you can see the actual dials. I've got the dials in there. They've actually got a bit of gloss paint over it. I'm going to put some more. This actually comes off because I only pushed it in place just to do this review. And I was to check it to make sure the carpet looks right. And I think you can't see, but I can. That's the trouble. Right, here we go. I don't know if I can get a light round here a bit more. There, I think you can see a bit more of the flocking as it goes into the. behind the brake pedals. The brake pedals look better in actual reality than they do on the camera, but I'm really happy so far it's going. It's only my second vehicle and my glossing, so the bench seats at the back don't look very nice with those gaps, but to be honest, there's a wall comes up behind it, so inside the van, as you're going to see in a minute, that actually does it. I've done a bit with the radio and I put some smoke in there to give it there's nothing, no dolls in there at all, so it's a radio there, but basically there's no decal for it, so I'm not too worried about that. I've got another one of these to do at some point, and I'll be doing a bit more special on that, because obviously I've learned a few things from this. There is quite a lot of work to do if you want it to do work really well. I mean, this is okay. This may not get a clear coat, because basically it's inside the floor, and they look dull when you look in a van anyway. But it's still going to be nice and clean and tidy. A bit of shine there, as you can see. So that is basically the body part of the vehicle. As I said, I'm quite pleased with the ink, okay, because looking at it personally here, it looks nice. I've got to put a bit of gloss varnish on the centre steering and put a Ford badge on there, so that's got to be done as well. So not too bad at all. So I'm going to switch off now and come back to the body part in a minute, and I'll come back in a second. I'll see you in a minute. Right, back now. This is the body again. It's a racing green again. I will put the zero paint colour up afterwards. There's a bit of dust on there, but looks it. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's dust. Come off. Right, this hasn't received its clear coat yet, so they have to receive it, because zero paints come as a mattish colour, but I've actually done a lot of bits and pieces, a few coats on this to give it a deep colour. And then what I will say to you is this body shell doesn't look too bad now, but there is so many little bits I had to do to get rid of, and I've rescribed all the panel lines to give it a nice deep sign, and I've rescribed everything, reshaped them, leveled the put this over here a bit, sorry. Oh, there you go, that's pretty good. I've just put that. Leveled off these wings, because they were slightly raised to the bonnet, so they would have looked good. It took a little while to get that down, but I've got it down to how I want it. The paint went on really well. Now the thing to look out with this body part is when you come is, if I do just here on the roof, when you look at look at the body when I showed it in the original video, you see that little bit sprue circle coming around. Now basically it's a sink mark on the inside. Trouble is, it shows right through the body. Now I've only just managed to get as much as I can. I can't go much more because I was in a no body sealing route, but I filled it, sanded so many times, and then I've had to settle with what I've got. I've got a slight impression of it there still. It's really sad, but the next time I might try something different again, to get rid of that on the other body when I eventually get it. But I've got there. Now I think you can see inside now. You can actually see the body of the seats go up again. Can you see? You would never see the back of those seats once they're in there. So it's sprayed on really well. It's being lacquer painted. Oops, sorry, I'm too moving. Being lacquer paints, as I said, it smells only. But I've got the nice base coat on. Now I know that when you put the actual clear coat on, it eats into the lower coat paint as well. So it's gonna sort of level things off a little bit, but there you go. So, but I'm going to give that quite a few, and then I'll be going for dry sanding, a bit like the old Showtime Studios, Selby Hunter, or is it Hunter Selby? Hunter Selby, let's get it right. Anyway, sorry about that. Hunter, never mind. Anyway, so I'll be doing his little trick on that. Now this is only my second one, so again it's a learning curve for me, and that's good. I'm coming out of a camera angle again, and I have to move that a bit over. You know, so it's a learning curve to me, and I think I'm doing not too bad a job anyway. So this is the door. I've painted the same colour as the dashboard and the seats. You can see, and I've actually glossed the handles to give them a different look to it. Now on my next one, I'll most probably cut those off and make some. But for this one was my first one to see it go. This is an old kit, as we said before, so it's really old. And my next kit will be when I do another vehicle, because I'm going to be going on to another project after I finish the Tiger. And there'll be another build in the background, but I'm going to build something that's more modern, but also hasn't got all the problems with the body as these ones. But you can deal with it. It's just a time-consuming problem. There you go. So I've got two of those little devils. There you go. Back door. Here's my back door. There was sink marks all around it. Now it looks. You can see. I think you'll just be able to make out over that side. You can see there's blemishes there. I've got to go back in again and sand that down and go further down with it. to actually do it, and then re-prime and sand. So I've got to do a lot more work on it. I was really not happy. There was little scratches in there, and it's just terrible. Anyway, so I'm going to be doing that again this morning quickly, you know, but done. But that's the only I've got to do. So I haven't got the doors here, but they're okay. They're in the spray booth. They've been done, and they look not too bad. Again, but they had sink marks running down sort of this like a U shape round each door, which is a pain in the butt really to do. But again, I've managed to do those, and I'm quite happy with those. But this one, just really have got to do some more work. I think you can see it better there as well. There's a lot more sanding to be done and go down through the grades to once I start to a slightly heavier one and go down through the grades to get back to the plastic and then smooth it right out again. So there you go. So it's a case of move on. Now the next thing I'll show you quickly, and I'll just show you this. I've done the bumpers. I'm gone for the semi-gloss back, but here they are. I've got the headlights in now. They just pushed in and they look really nice, and it looks nice on the front. I've tried it. I've got to put a little badge there, gloss that badge part and put a blue badge on there with Ford on it. But what I'm going to be doing, because that's see-through, that's how they come. So when you look in it, you're not going to see anything. It'll be black there, so I don't like the idea of black. So I've got some plastic in the spray booth on a pair of tweezers. Then I'm going to spray chrome, and once I've done that, I'm going to drill a hole in the middle and put a little bit of plastic so it resembles a bulb. And basically that will look silver in there with a sort of yellowish looking bulb to give it a bit of definition in the headlights. That's what I'm going to do, so that's not too bad. The bumpers, as you can see, oops, I really can't see because I haven't got them over there, but there they are. I've got that semi-gloss black and all. I'm doing this as per the vehicle, but the next time I'm going to get those bumpers and I'm going to sand them right back to smooth so I can have chrome ones on. And there you go. And I'll most probably carpet the back of the vehicle as well, because I'll be doing it as a private one. For myself really. There you go. So that's that bit. So that's as far as I've got so far. I basically, with the chassis nearly more or less finished and the body being painted, I'm doing my next job really will be, after doing this door, will be to respray that back up and then go straight in and put the zero clear coat over it, which will give it a deep shine. That'll have quite a few coats on it, and then I'll be able to polish it back, bring it back to smooth, and then polish it up so it looks really nice. As I said, playing and testing, when you've only been doing tanks for years and submarines, you'd be surprised what a learning curve is to go from a tank or an armoured vehicle to a shiny thing, as I like to call them, because basically they are a different animal altogether as far as I'm concerned. Oh, the painting the engines and things like that is no problem because you can actually deal down there, but when it comes to the actual paintwork for the gloss, you know, I know a lot of people have actually built these with rust all over them, so that would have been a way for me, but I didn't want a rusty one, and there is a reason for that. And I've got the decal done for this, and you'll see that in the final reveal when the decal goes on. I won't show it with the decal on it until it's the final build, so you most probably won't see any more of this build now until it actually comes to the final build, because really when you look at it, all I've got to do is get that door done, paint get the door sorted out and repainted to the green to match the vehicle, and then do the clear coats and let them dry, then polish it up, and then put all these other fittings in. These fittings, like the headlight, actually just click into place, so they do click into place. So that's what I've got to do. So I'm happy with that so far, so thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. And it was very good news that for Charlie and his wife, basically, and he said it on his videos if you've seen them. Really happy for them. And I've been watching so many videos again. I really need to write a little list up for call outs because there's so many good modelers over there. And I've been watching a lot of car modelers. Dr. Cranky's one of them, obviously. He's a brilliant modeler. Pappy, everyone knows who he is as well. I've watched quite a lot of his videos. Really great modeler. He does a modeling call out basically for all the different shows and builds that are going on in the car modeling world. And so brilliant again. Look like watching them as well. So thank you very much for watching. I'm gonna have to go now because I'm babbling on because I want to get this uploaded. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Happy modeling.